class it up a little bit, I'll do, well, no, we're feeling froggy. We're going to leave that open. I will put my hat on, though. How we doing tonight, everybody? I am Famine from Famine Studios. We'll let some of the friends get in here. Okay. What's up, Bjorn? I am working on stuff and things tonight. Figured I'll do some diorama work, then I'll do some figure work. I don't know, we'll just make things happen tonight. I had a really long work day today. It was not good. I did not enjoy myself. And as such, I'm gonna hang out with my friends and paint some things. These things that I'm about to hit with black paint have already been Mod Podged quite a few times, so that's that. I do see we have the top fans contest going on again. Apparently that's a new thing that YouTube is like really pushing. So Bjorn's in the lead with 50 XP. So keep at it, Bjorn. Keep at it. So I've got my bar top at a perfect height, my little counter for the noodle shop. But right now I need to cover the foam and Mod Podge in black paint so that when I get ready to finish painting the whole thing, everything has a primer layer on it. And yellow really stands out, so probably gonna have to put a couple of coatings on it, but that's okay. But when it's done being painted, it's gonna look like a little diner countertop. Forest bears. What's going on, friend? The fish is in the chat. Some of the Mod Podge got all over, and so everything got another quick coating of Mod Podge earlier today, just because I started to be messy with it unintentionally, and I was like, well, crap, looks like I'll have to, you know, Mod Podge this, and then I guess I'll put a little here since this got it on, and before you know it, it's just the whole thing got another coating, which there are worse things to happen to stuff. So that's always a plus. Oop. Gravity bill. Paid our gravity bill here on the channel. Ready for Alien Earth? Yes, sir, I am. Is it do we know, is it going to be an entire series drop? Or are they going to hit us with one episode at a time? All at once, good. Yeah, I've seen nothing but good reviews, like really rave reviews, which is promising. But beyond that, I haven't done any, like, looking into who the characters are. Like, I know who, I know Timothy Olyphant's in it, but I don't want to know anything about who plays who or who plays what or anything like that. I just want to let the story unfold. So it'd be good if it's all one thing. Of course, you know, it drops on a Friday when I'm working, and the internet is fucking brutal, absolutely goddamn brutal, um, about letting you enjoy anything without seeing it first. So I may just have to do a complete social media blackout on Friday until I've seen it. Because, yeah. I can't imagine it's going to be the whole series, because isn't it going to be a weekly show on FX? Only on Hulu. I could have sworn it was going to be on FX television, but I mean, I hope you're right. They don't deserve that on regular TV. Surprisingly, I've seen a few brands that are doing promotional tie-ins with it, which I mean, aside from the, you know, your popcorn bucket or whatever the um, toys that they used to make, those are really the only promotional tie-ins that I've seen. Like when the movie is out in theaters or the show is out or anything like that, there's never a lot of like alien merchandise, or there you'll see a Wayland t-shirt or something like that, or a ball cap. But the fact that there's been like a lot of tie-in merchandise with like liquor brands and food brands and things like that, it's pretty cool to see. I know we're a very consumerism driven country here in the States, and in the world to a certain point, but there is something nostalgic and I think less offensive than you know, the advertising that we get for other things. I think movie tie-ins, movie merchandise, and things like that are pretty enjoyable. I've got a Wayland shirt and a Wayland ball cap and a couple of patches somewhere. Eventually, I'd like to get myself a nice Wayland jacket, like a winter coat, but that's down the road. I'll go ahead and put some black on this vent that we made the other day. I also have from Etsy a Wayland Yutani campus parking pass that I plan on putting on my Jeep when I eventually do things to that. I have so many projects, guys. I have so many things. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of grand plans, and I just sometimes do not have the energy or the time. Or rather, I don't have the energy, so I can't make the time. I'm trying. I do try. Bjorn, if you could drop the link for this off in the chat, the Knuckleheads, just in case anybody missed it. So I know I didn't put up a advanced warning on this one. I was just like, no, it's Tuesday. I'm going. I'm doing it. Because, like I said, today was a day with the old job, J-O-B. Although I know, Bjorn, you said you had a great day today, so that's good at work. That's fucking phenomenal. I appreciate that for you. I like to hear when my friends do well. Thank you, friend. I like to hear when my friends do well and have successes. Guess I'll get some primer on this thing. So this is a cast. Who is at my doorbell? Sorry about that. Yeah, this is a cast from Diorama Accessories, and I have backed it with some cereal box cardboard and a little bit across the top. This is going to be a menu / advertising screen that I'm probably going to mount like here. There's your crack right now. You got crack? I'll smoke rock, Joe Rogan. That Fox guy is back again at my door. That's what I just jumped off to go see. Earlier today, somebody in a Fox News shirt came to my front door, and I was working. They rang my doorbell, and my doorbell camera picked it up. And that's what just popped up on the screen. Oh, no, I have no idea what they wanted because they just came while while I was doing this. Like, that's where I just accidentally left the screen. The hat is from a company called The Real Deal Brazil, and they make these hats out of recycled tarps from the delivery trucks that are there in Brazil. The metal wire that's in the rim of the hat is made from the tires, the metal strips that are inside of tires that help keep the rubber together. And so that's one less piece of waste in the system. And they're real canvas hats. No two are the exact same. They're sewn together from the material, and I have owned 2 of these hats, and I love it very much. Real Deal Brazil. I don't get sponsored. They should. They should be like, damn, that famine guy, he is handsome in that hat. I think we should sponsor his videos and have him let friends have a discount code to get cool hats. They're not expensive. That's the thing. This was $45 after taxes and shipping, and I've had it for 2 years now, and it's probably my most rugged hat that I own. It's actually almost too rugged for me because I went ahead and sealed it with beeswax to keep the rain out, and now it's more of a springtime, fall time hat because I get hot and sweat in there. But it's a really good hat. So thank you. Blue, what's going on? 4 hats, all different captain's hats. I only have the one skipper's hat. I'd like to get another one and have it resized. I'd also like to get a dark one to go with more of my like goth and punk rock clothes that I wear, because I love those skipper's hats. That one actually, the one that I got is actually bespoke. It's handmade to my measurements, but I took my measurements when I had hair, and despite my hair thinning on me at the time, still apparently had enough volume to add about 1/4 of an inch around the diameter of the hat. And so hat's got a little bit of play on it, and I don't like that when it's windy, or like if I whip my head around to do something. Or like if if I'm ever in a situation now where somebody like fucking punches me in the face, that hat's sailing. And then they're gonna look like a badass. I can't have that. I need like to get hit and okay. Like that. See, this isn't going anywhere. But I get popped in that other hat. It's gonna go sailing. These are the things that run through my brain. What's up, Red Foo? Wild. That's all dust from my coffee grounds. A toy bank? No, absolutely not. We don't steal from toys. Corporations, never people. I didn't say that. You said that. Okay, so that's got a coating of Mod Podge already on it, and now I'm just putting a flat black on there for, putting a flat black on there for a primer. This way, when I need it, it'll already be primed. You guys have seen I'm a big proponent of priming my work ahead of time. Just makes my life a little bit easier, and sometimes that's what we need. I think to many occasion where I'm like, man, I sure freaking wish that I had like taken a couple extra steps to get myself ahead. It's kind of like cleaning my workshop or cleaning my table off at night. It's just something for me that I do. I'm trying to get better at it because I notice that if I come to like work in the same spot again after I left a mess the night before, I'm mad at myself from the previous day because I'm like, damn it, I could have just taken those extra seconds to clean or straighten that up. So now I do that ahead of time and or try to at least pick up and straighten up so I come into a nicer, clean surface. I do not have any in my set. I do have some in my totes of toys that I plan on using for aliens and creatures. I think there's a Ben 10 vehicle in there as well. That sounds right, but also could be wrong, but I'm like 80% sure that I have a Ben 10 vehicle in there. But yeah, like I was saying, it's a little service to myself to clean and straighten up. So it's like kind of like doing that for myself when I'm working on a project later is, oh, I've already got this piece primed and ready to go. He is into deep tracks. Lo-fi tracks for him to hip-hop to or something like that, right? Isn't that what you listen to, Ant? Okay. Well, that's not dry yet. Frick. Oh. I can do this. Shut-ya. Just take care of the underside of the table now. So I'm doing this antique white color for the countertop at this little noodle bar place because I'm constantly reminded of the diners in the 50s that had that kind of off-white color going on. Oh, Jesus, that sounds terrible because it was a diner in the 50s. They had that cream countertop in some places, and in diners, especially at like the eat-at counters, they had that cream white countertop. And I grew up with my grandparents, and we watched a lot of old movies. And so when there was like a soda a soda spot or, you know, place that they'd go for like fries after school or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, like an old diner. They usually had like that cream colored countertop. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that on this because I want this to be like a lunch counter. And the lunch counters had those nice cream surfaces. Titan Toys Joe. But I do kind of like this because it's also a sweet little nod to my grandparents, how they met. My grandmother worked at a place that's around here that's now a actual dairy. At the time it was a dairy and they had a stand. It was called Three Farms Dairy. And my grandmother was the soda jerk. I guess that's what the position was called. And she would make the sodas, the like real syrup sodas, you know, that you used to get at like pharmacies and dairies before we switched to just the syrup and or buying it in a bottle, and milkshakes. And my grandpa came in, got a milkshake one day and flirted with her, and she gave him the extra from the cup with the milkshake, and that was it. And he asked her out after a couple of visits, and she said yes, and there they went. So I think it's kind of like a cute little, oh, also, by the way, my grandparents got married at a countertop like they're not married, but got, you know, met at a countertop like this. I don't know. It's a weird thing for me. And yeah. Let that dry. What's up, Abby? We are working on little tiny buildings. Well, a noodle house, and I'm slowly outfitting it with things. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. So that's gonna dry. And I think that now where'd that piece go? I was working on it when beyond, there it is. That one's still drying as well. Sarah, break out your galoshes. Famine's wearing the tarp hat. I was telling everybody about the tarp hat and where to get the tarp hat, and that also the Real Deal Brazil should sponsor me for, you know, sending all this traffic, this hat traffic. Why did I just touch that by the wet paint? All this hat traffic their way. I think that would be nice, you know? Tarp hat sounds like a Pokemon. Could be. Ah, it's a little damn tarp hat out in the yard again. Somebody go get the hose. We gotta get that thing out of here. Oh yeah, and this was something I did yesterday, is I made up one of those vents and started weathering it. That's the hood for over the stove, because the stove is gonna go in there like so. There we go. And it's just gonna line up underneath. Come on, there we go. And there will be a hose that goes to that exhaust fan and leads out through the top. But we are getting there. And then I did a little military footlocker as his shelves or their shelves. I don't know if the cook is a woman, female, non-binary, alien. No idea yet. But the idea that they used to be a warrior, and now they've come home to have a peaceful life, but you know, they're not wasteful, so they hang up their Foot Locker and put some shelves in it, and that's going to be a place for them to store spices. Utah Don is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We have a celebrity in the chat. What's going on, Don? I do have some figures to open, too. I don't know if I'll get to that or if I'll just get greedy and open those on my own. Which is a possibility, because sometimes those things happen. Sometimes those things happen. Bloop, bloop. U.S. Virgin Islands. Oh, nice. They're not going to be the Virgin Islands by the time I leave, let me tell you. I don't recall ever having been to the Virgin Islands. Just Whore Island, which sounds amazing. It really was. Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. That's a good choice to make. You'll never, ever, ever catch me slating somebody for being sober, especially if it's being sober for something like that. Fuck yeah, that's just good business, taking care of yourself. Random snowflake hair on there. Alright, we're gonna let that dry for a good long time. Famine, you been to Whore Island? Yes. But yeah, I've got a whole bunch of Agent Callus to open. And I've got a Moff Gideon in his new armor. So yeah. Alright, there's something I can paint. There is something I can paint. So I'm going to paint the bowl of this ladle that we made. Gonna paint it shining silver. You had crosshair delivered today. Nice. I'm gonna paint the bowl of the ladle shining silver because the handle is gonna be made out of wood. I mean, it is. It's actually made out of wood, but we're gonna paint it to look like it's made out of wood. But I like the bowl of my ladle, the scoop, the lade part of the ladle. The fuck do you call the bottom of the spoon? the scoopy part, the scooperino, okay, and then there's a tiny tip at the top where the hook connects. I'm going to hit that with a little bit of silver, just so that when I put the handle on there, it looks like it's attached to something and not morphing out of the wood. The bowl, is it called a bowl of a ladle? It's the fucking, this part. I don't know. I contrary to these degrees that you see behind me, those degrees right there, I did go to ladle school. Not one course did I take in ladle school. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Indeed called the bowl. We are learning a lot about ladles today, guys. I don't know about any of you guys. Apparently Bjorn knew that it was called the bowl of a ladle. Coordinates to Whore Island. 4 years of your life. Yeah, no, see, that's why. And if I'd have gone there, I would have met you, and things would have been very different for us. But, you know, we had to meet later in life after you had already done 4 years of ladle school. The ladle's butt. See, again, would have been a very different time at ladle school had I been there. Ladlepedia. I think I would laugh until I died if I was a moderator on Ladlepedia. Batch of Civilians, this guy's got Hunter, most recent. LadleCon. I can't give the directions to Whore Island or couldn't get the scholarship, and you had to go to serving schools. Serving spoon school. That's a mouthful. Jesus Christ, that was a hard thing to say. Serving spoon school. Also. Better. Alright, I need that to dry faster. If you could just fucking hurry up. I'm in fact a mouthful. I've heard that about you. I've heard that. I asked Meg. I said, mouthful or handful? Handful. And she said, excuse me, this is at Denny's. I was like, sorry. Then once we were outside of Denny's, I asked, and I got a polite answer. I need things to dry, so I'm gonna set this aside, motherfucker. You like that? It's custom versions of a song right there. All right. I'm gonna open this fucker. Well, interesting. Apparently, I buy. This is apparently my thing. Is I get figures with sticks for weapons. I got Zeb in the mail, and now I've got Gideon and his pokey stick. All right, you know, how deeply do these need to be attached? Let's get his little lightning tip out. Stick is absolutely a weapon. Absolutely. I'd say a stick is probably my favorite weapon ever. Oh, I love this little sidearm that he's got. Ah, my spine. Sorry. Moff Gideon. He's got a soft goods cape. I don't know if I like that. Maybe I'll pull a Wentzilla and I'll add a wire to it. That's cool. His backpack is removable. I do like the different design of the backpack. That's dope. Put his little blaster in his holster. Oh god, I'm knocking shit off. You have something I want. I know that we're likely going to receive another version of this with the helmet off, with the portrait, with the face sculpt of him without his mustache. So that'll be a nice another one to pick up, and then I'll have an extra body that I can use for Mandalorian armor. Hopefully. If not, I'm sure these figures will stick around, and I will be able to pick up a couple of them. Famous last words. Triple D, what's up? I'll be able to pick those up. But yeah, that's a fun figure. I don't know if it'll stay Moff Gideon or not for now, but it's a sick helmet too, man. Good bend in the center. They did a really good job on that ab crunch there. That's pretty cool. All right, I'll open up one. I'll open one General Callus, or fucking Commander Callus, or Agent Callus, or Alexander Hamilton Callus. That's actually RFK Brainworm getting ready to activate. It's just gonna climb around in there and get settled in, and then you won't feel it so much. Just gotta make its way home and get cozy. Yep, Dr. Mutton Chops McGee over here is this body mold, I believe, is going to be my police force. Obviously, I'm going to change the head sculpt for these guys, but I think I'm going to slap an Imperial gear on their chest and maybe give them some type of brighter blue on the helmet or something, just to really signify that they're a no-good space cop. But yeah, I like that. I like that design. Anyone find the deluxe Cobb Vanth yet? Or under 10 bucks? Are you talking about the removable Boba Fett armor? That one? I've found about, I don't know, 50 of those at this point. Pigs in Space. That was the Muppets. I remember that. Yeah, I found a bunch of them. In fact, I got one for like $4 something. Wayland Yutani logo. There's a gentleman. I'm going to think of his name right now. I think it is Big Dog Decals. And he's a... What's up, Starboy? He is a eBay seller. And he specializes in sci-fi water slide decals. Does a lot of Joe stuff. Does Jurassic. Bad Mother, that's right. There's Bad Mother. You're right. But he does a shit ton of decals. And I actually got my Mandalorian ones from him and also my Imperial ones from him. Why did I think Big Dog? Who was I thinking of? Doesn't matter. But yes. Indeed, there is somebody out there making those. I mean, hell, with the right paint job, you know, you could make this look closer to a Rebel Fleet Trooper and give them a Rebel Fleet Trooper helmet instead of a Imperial looking helmet, and it could be a Coruscant Senate Guard or something like that. Like, no, not a Coruscant, but you know what I'm trying to say, a Senate Guard for a Rebel soldier. Because, yeah, that helmet is just straight up Imperial. Deckle? Oh, yeah, I gotta say it like a Canadian. We were not talking about the tribal chief. Bad mother for a bunch of things. Contact. He's open to making custom decals, too. So you mean to tell me I could finally get a decal of my Tom Johnson made to stick on things? Fucking count me in. And that head sculpt, too, is like they gave my man some detail work. He looks terse. Wonder if I could sculpt wefts of hair out like that and turn him into a Space Wolverine. Don't give me ideas. Why would you say that, Bjorn? Why would you give me that idea? Like, that's a whole... That's probably the most expressive human face I've seen on a figure in a very long time. Like, come on, focus up, fucker. The level of detail that is in that face sculpt is very impressive. Like, it is very cool. I've got to get one to kiss my Zeb figures. Like, Don't judge me. You could judge me. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Well, they are together, aren't they? Didn't they wind up becoming a couple? Like, that's not even shipping. Like, isn't that canon that they are an item? Did I dream that? Did I have a fucking fever dream again? No, they're just friends. Says who? Friends that stay in the same house and hold hands and kiss. He went to his homeworld with him. Yeah, to get married. I haven't written fan fiction in... Jesus Christ, I'm going to sound old as fuck. Since I was probably 18. Oh, well... I mean, isn't this some level of fan fiction right here? This shit that I'm doing with my toys? Like, I'm over here making up worlds with these characters and, like, telling stories about them. So I guess I never did stop writing fan fiction. But if you want, like, air quotes, canon fan fiction, where, like, I'm like, this is a story about how fucking Luke Skywalker, lost his shoes on Bespin. That type of fanfic. I don't know what I used to write. But yeah, this is absolutely fan fiction then. But you get my point, kids. You get my point. But yeah, I know he's supposed to be like a little ISB fancy officer and everything. But until the day comes where we get the troops, the storm, like SWAT troopers, riot troopers that they had in Andor in 3.75. These guys are going to become my police squad. I have a gift. I think I have another gift card left, or enough points for a gift card at work. I think I'm going to pick up a couple more of these guys this week. Yeah, start building my police squad. Probably 7 to 10, I think, is enough of a police presence for a gimmick, because they supplement with stormtroopers. Yeah. What did Tuna say? Closest friends. Yep. And they were roommates. And they were roommates. I'm thinking that maybe they'll have some type of droid. I've got a couple ideas for droids, for police droids. But for now, we got some neat little space cops. So let me... That's still not dry. Dry faster. I guess I'll work on the counter some more. Whoosh. I'm going to need the shining silver. That's plate mail. That'll work. Let's see. Let's see who the top fans are. We got Macon Hicks at number 1. Anthony number 2. Tied. Excuse me, you 3 are tied. 1, 2, and 3 are tied. Macon Hicks, Anthony, and Tuna. Fat Red. Then Blue. Triple D. Bjorn. Starboy. Ian. Utah Don. Sarah. And Abby. Fucking crazy with these points. Cut the corns off your dog's feet tonight. That's upsetting. If I catch good... Okay, gotcha. I like corn. She hates it. No, I understand why. I pretty much hate having anything cut off of me, so... Can relate. Pupper Doggo. I may have to this winter, because I'm not going to do it again before swimming season, even though I have not gone swimming at all this summer. Haven't even fucking dunked my body into a body of water. I think I will wait until this winter and get another tumor out of my arm that's been bothering me. You know, because what's another $2,000 procedure? Just so that I don't have critters growing in my arms. So, just did a silver stripper on the table. I always like that feature. I know it's supposed to be chrome, but realistically, a lot of them, the whole lot of them, it was not chrome. It was like a polished nickel finish around the countertop. Yes, Snowflake. Yeah, it's going to be the last night you're on TV. Snowflake's moving back home. Tomorrow. Her sister already went back Sunday. So Snowflake will be going back tomorrow. she will get to play with her other sister, her bestie. So I am trying to be very excited for her. Yes, I will miss her, but I also get to go see her whenever I want. So it's not like, it's not like I'm never going to see her. But it will be a little sad. But she gets to go hang out with her buddy. And that's cool because cats are dope. Okay. Little diner counter. I think, let's see, a little bit of weathering with some silver on these cans, whatever they are. And I guess we'll flip this bitch over. Paint the whole underside railing of it silver, because why not? Nothing can stop me. It's my project. Therefore, I can do whatever the hell I want. Sometimes I need to remind myself about that. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm like, oh, people are expecting X and Y. And I'm like, now wait a minute, goddammit. This is my thing. And then I just do my thing. Sometimes I forget who I'm doing it for. And now we smash cut to Homer posting the do it for her Maggie signage. And everybody goes, "Aw, it's my favorite episode." Again. Nope. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I hear you. But I'm currently super gluing, so you're gonna have to wait a minute, Miss Snowflake. She's like, Dad, this is bullshit. This is my favorite room of the whole house. It's actually my room. Why are you keeping me out of it, Dad? God damn. You'd think I'd have a better solution for my super glue problem by now, but I don't. Because I'm me, I don't. There we go. Oh, I can smell it now. Just let out all that super glue smell. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Glue. Now, 1, 2, 3, adhere. Snowflake. In the middle of something, my love. Okay. Strange. All right, let that cure for a second. Now we've got a little sit-up counter. This will be on the outside there for people to pull up and sit at. I'm digging it. I'm digging it so far. And then again, we have to remember that the stove's going to be right in here. Now you guys can't see that. There we go. So again, got your little count. Son of a bitch. Got your little counter, little seat there. Get your to-go order over here. Yeah, I'm liking how this is turning out so far. So let that sit. So I want to get working on this tower piece. I just thought this would be cool to like do. I don't know. Some type of a exhaust vent or something. Let's see. We'll use necrotic flesh. Okay. Fish scales on the roof. Yeah, I like the tiles. It's from the green thing is a train car. The green thing. This here is a train car. Yes. Hang on. Yes, the fish scales are, they're these copper sheet tiles from, or not tiles, but like scrapbooking material. And I was just like, yeah, that's going to be a roof. That's going to be a roof on something one day. And so now it's the roof on a noodle house. Where's that? What did I just do? And yep, that thing in the background is a plastic train that I want the panel. I kind of want to cast a greebly or two off of it first before I use it. But as you can see, my channel is notorious for all the casting and molding that I do. Even though I used to, when I did, back when I was a cosplayer, I used to do enough molding and casting so that I could make duplicates of things, have reproductions of stuff or parts that are harder to find, stuff that I needed for certain projects. Yes, Snowflake, I hear you. Do you need me to come open the door? She's like, well, I'm not sitting out here because I'm pretty. Yeah, even though you are, you're so pretty. I love you. She's like, then open the door, Faja. Yeah, I love you. And as far as how many of my animals are fosters, none are fosters. Kenny was in the process of moving unexpectedly, so the cats needed a place to be, a safe place to be, so the dogs. Come on. And now that she's settled into her new place and they're able to go live there now. And I will be here with Quinny Quinn. And hopefully he gets a little brother or sister sooner than later. And yeah. But I would be a foster fail every time because I fall in love with critters, man. I love... Yes, baby. Yes, I know. Where are you? You're behind me, I can tell. There you are. You're at my feet. She a good girl. But yes, I would absolutely be a foster fail every freaking time because I just love little critters. That is a piece of pink foam wrapped in card, and then I capped all the corners in cardstock, and then I wrapped strips of foam around it and made it into a weird thing. Miss Snowflake, I wish you'd keep your head out of that trash bag. Thank you. Jeez, it's almost like you know what I'm saying when you want to. Nope, nope, you just want to climb up there and look inside of it. It's not an empty bag. Check this out. So it's not an empty bag, my love. Yeah, say hi. Say hi, everybody. Say, I'm gonna be gone, but it's okay, you keep sending treats. You send us super chats and Dad will bring treats to me. Because I am the Snowflake. Yeah. I love you. She's a good girl. All that fucking hair. Come on, girl. Jesus Christ. You see this? You're why I have to vacuum 3 times a week. Or should vacuum 3 times a week. Let's be honest. We know I don't. But I should. Snowflake needs all the treats. She does. She's a good girl. That cat, unironically, how do I phrase this without sounding like a dick? Some people are like, oh, my pets saved my life. Oh, I wouldn't know what to do without them. Snowflake quite literally has saved my life before. She is the best cat, and there is not another cat like her. Could you get your face out of there? Do you think you could do that for me? Do you think you could keep your little snowflake cheeks out of there? Nope. Okay. I'm scratching up this area on the roof where this is going to adhere, just to give it a little tooth, little purchase. Glue. Spread that glue around. Spreading it around like I'm spreading a booty hole. I don't know where these things that I come up with to say come from, guys. I really don't. Like, see? Now we're getting somewhere. We're getting some more character. I'm going to take the stove out for the time being because I've still got work to do in there. And this will also probably get this top, this piece, the decorative piece. It's probably going to get something on it. I don't know if it's going to be a weather vane or if it's just going to be a piece of like decorative, whatever I come up with, or maybe just dry brushed in gold. But that's there on the agenda for that. And then speaking of weather vane, I picked up a fishing lure piece at a gas station and cut the line off of it that was there and trimmed a couple of things. And it was just like a nice little decorative bead thing that I'll maybe use to like hang something or have it as a hook. Just a thought that crossed my mind. And I saw it on the ground and I was like, well, I'm going to pick that up because there's a hook. I don't want somebody to step on it. And then my weirdo little brain started thinking about it, and that's where we landed. What'd you find down there? She's corpuscular, guys. No, these aren't the lead ones. They are the copper jacketed steel. You could tell because the way it is. I used to fish. I used to be a fisherman. I could still do it if I need to. I don't ever want to. It no longer appeals to me. You know what I mean? I'm not excited. I don't get excited for fishing no more. You catch enough smallmouth bass in your lifetime, and you realize you're really good at it. It's not fair to the other fishermen. That's not what it was. But let me tell you, if You know, you always see that meme that circles around every once in a while. We won't get too dark. We won't get too sad, I promise. But you see that meme that circles around every year, and it's like you could have 1 hour with anybody and sit in a chair and talk to them for an hour, do anything you wanted. And, you know, some people are like, oh, I'd talk to my late Mimu and talk to my parents I never got to meet because they died in a car accident while I was in the hospital, all this other stuff. And I'm just like over here like, yeah, man, I'd fucking love to just go fishing with my grandpa again. That'd be nice. Just an hour. We wouldn't even need to talk. It'd be nice, though. But, yeah. I'll have to show some pictures of the fish that we caught years ago. If that's something y'all want to see. If y'all don't want to see it, you ain't got to see it. I ain't going to make you look at it. But if you want to see it, I could put it up there for you. You could message me and I could be like, well, these are my fish. Take a look at them. And you'd be like, wow, Famine, those sure are some fucking fish. And I'll be like, yep. They're very floppy, and I will not eat them because they were in the Hudson. Always bring a G.I. Joe when you fish. All right, I'll bite. Before. Is this like some little known fish fact that fish love fucking G.I. Joe or their Cobra or what? Oh, real quick, do you guys like want some lore? I shared it with one other person that's in here. Oh, for funsies. Okay, I thought maybe there was like some Bjorn family secret, Jorgensen family secret that's you know, if you take a G.I. Joe with you and it's an O-ring, you're gonna get absolutely fished out that day. You're gonna catch everything. But if you bring one of the 4-inch articulated without the O-ring, no fish. All right, so lore. So our good friend Huckleberry Prospect knows about this, but this tower here is an advertising tower. However, it is also a number station for the rebels in the universe, and the reason that the Imperials can't do jack or shit about it is because they can't crack the code and prove that it is in fact sending out messages to the Resistance. So that's just a nice little bit of lore there, is that this robot just broadcasting his little broadcasts, and it's all sounds like noodle recipes or noodle advertisements, food specials, but it is in fact a number station. Oh, Jesus Christ, you're fast, girl. She was chasing a foil ball that I use. You guys have seen it when I do the foam and I roll the ball. It leaves the marks in the foam. I was doing that the other day to show somebody. I had a student. I got goosebumps saying the word student. Somebody who commissioned me to teach them how to do some stuff. And I was like, I have free videos. And they're like, no, I want you to pay me for one-on-one. I was like, okay, whatever. And I was showing them how, ma'am, she's like, all right, you're kicking me out? Kicking me out? Anyway, and I was showing them, you use the foil ball on the foam, the different types of foam, you get the texture of blacktop. You could do it to get the texture of leather. Anyway, and then the boy cat saw the foam ball. So I threw the foam ball on the floor and he played with it for a minute, and then Snowflake hissed at him and he ran away. Apparently she found it and was just chasing it around, but then all of a sudden, this big white bitch, where are you? All right, you got to get down from there. Hey, get down. Thank you, ma'am. Bjorn, when the Sam Jackson fighter shows up, I'm going to, I think I'm going to make it park up there. And anytime it parks there, I'm going to have a little plaque that in Arabic says, bad motherfucker. I think that's the way to go. Well, where'd the foil ball go, you nut? Here. Here's a piece of paper that I was letting you play with earlier. Here. Ready? Ready? Get. Get. All right, good effort. The Jedi Fighter will be its way. Oh, that wasn't a rush or anything. I was just saying, I think I need to have a bad motherfucker parking spot, and it's got to be reserved for. It's got to be reserved for his ship. And yes, the number stations. That's a real thing. If you ever want to be creeped out late at night, and not like intrinsically creeped out of like. Yes, it does have bad motherfucker on it. I don't mean intrinsically creepy, like, oh, there's a fucking werewolf, or oh, there's, a UFO or whatever. Number stations exist, and they serve a purpose, and while we know what they're for, we can't shut them down, we can't stop them from broadcasting, we monitor them. It's pretty crazy, number stations. But I figured that'd be a neat thing. Look at you jumping over stuff, you cartoon. And so, to help with that, and I will be recording / making a broadcast track for him. And who knows? Maybe I'll put a little secret code in there, and whoever decodes it or whatever wins a free T-shirt or hand job or something. It's a job that you do with your hands. You may be asking me what am I doing right now? And basically I am making a antenna to go on this droid. Because I want him to have an antenna. And I'll put a bead or something on top of the tip just to add some character to it, but I drilled a tiny little pilot hole, and I cut a piece of wire, and I just plugged it in. Plugged it in. I plugged it in, and then I made it working for the outside space for the plugged in. I don't know. I needed this today, so I appreciate you guys being here. It was a long day, like I said earlier, and hanging out with friends is always a pleasure. It always seems to turn around my mood. It's almost like friendship is a good thing. Maybe the real friendship was the friends we made along. Now that doesn't make sense. At some point I need to finish this, painting this guy up. Just to have him parked outside of a bar. And I've got this on the docket as well. I need to take the wheels out of there, and then I will be ready to customize the shit out of this, because these things are great little junk speeders. Like, they're not junky. These are actually these are probably more durable than the bikes from the vintage collection. These are from that 4-inch line that's out, but I mean, they work perfectly. And it's got like really great fabric. I'd love to cast this seat, actually. The fabric material on here was clear. If they didn't just 3D print it, they used a real fabric and then sealed it and sculpted it. It's not soft. It's hard. But yeah, that's there. And there's a bag on there. But yeah, once these screws come out and I get rid of these wheels, this thing's going to be pretty dope. But they're super inexpensive, and it has all the things that you want it to have. It's got, pedals that adjust. It's got bars and tubes and things like that. There's like a ridiculous level of detail on this for what it is. Rivets on the panels, but we're gonna do some crazy shit with this. Probably going to put like a skull on the front of it because you know. Also, Sarah, I have this little tiny Dilophosaurus for you, but I'm going to paint it to look like the goddamn Dilophosaurus from the movie. And that's going to show up at your house at a strange time. Or I will have Adam hide it in your lawn. He doesn't know that he'd be doing that, but I'll ask nicely. Yeah. All right, next step. Why don't we put that little bit of... This should get painted too. This is going to get dry brushed. There is an IG chat. Discord server. No, we hang out. We hang out at on the Instagrams, except for Anthony. He's not allowed. He got Steve Google asked him not to come back. That is not even remotely true. But I just love the idea that one of my best friends got asked by Google not to come back on the internet. There's no reason for that, Famine. Why is that so funny to you? Oh, God. You imagine getting a letter from Google? Listen, you've done too much. You've seen too much of the internet. We're going to ask you not to come back. We're hereby gonna revoke your internets. Oh, God. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Okay. And this is a upside down tankard from the Black Chrysanthemum figure that I cut the handle off of and sanded, painted it black, and now I've just given it a nickel coating. And that's going to be like it's going to hold some chopsticks and a ladle and things like that. Just your can of tools that you might see. It's my old man stance. I tried using Discord for a little bit, and it was too much like Slack, which we use at work. And I just don't want that outside of work, so I will have to figure out a way to mentally prepare myself to use Discord if that day ever comes. Oh, and I have this Mempo that I'm actually going to paint up. I have this Mempo that I'm actually going to paint up, but I need to send some of those to Anthony for his 4-inch figures. Tone, he's up in Canada, right? They don't know much how to read. You've been running your community on Discord? Okay, nerd. I'm fucking with you. That's cool. Well, you've seen how he names things. You think that dude can read? Also, anybody who thinks that I'm being mean, Rad is a very good friend of mine. I'm busting his balls. He's a smart guy. I mean, his basement is a fire hazard. But other than that, you know, and aside from the fact that he's Canadian, he's an alright guy. No, but some of my very close friends, people that would like, if I got stuck across the border or something like that on a vacation and couldn't, you know, fly back to the States or whatever, they would absolutely open their couch in their home to me. And same, it goes likewise. So that's not me being mean towards the Canadians. I like to bust balls. Basic server. Formational hierarchy. Grant roles. Mod power. Yeah, you keep changing my name to Pink Famine Club. Very strange. I mean, I don't hate it, but I just don't get the why. I took a picture of Snowflake's mom earlier today. When she wants something, she'll reach out and tap. Well, she was tapping me and she yawned as I took the picture, so it looks like she's going. And I captioned it, please, no more Chapel Roan, no more famine. Sassy and vindictive. That's how I describe myself on my my Tinder. Sassy and vindictive, like a slice of pie that you can't forget. People are like, what the fuck is this famine guy talking about right now? Triangle bit. Here's something fun. No, you don't. If you have two small screwdrivers, Bjorn. Give me 1 second. One Phillips head and one flathead. For those triangles, where are my little... I've got a few of those little screwdrivers around here. All right, famine poorly draws something to describe it time. Give me something to draw on. There we go. All right, so you got your triangle here, right? You can put your Phillips head in there, and it's not going to rotate. It's just going to spin freely inside that hole. But if you place your Phillips head in and you place a flat head around one side and twist until they're tight, as long as you hold them together, you can twist and undo that triangle screw. Think of it as the lock-picking skill from Fallout or any of those games like Oblivion and shit where you have to pick a lock. You can get past one of those using a flathead and a Phillips of the same size. The Phillips head will take up most of the space. The flathead goes in and creates the pressure. You hold them tight and turn, and it will loosen that up. Famine, you sure know a lot about opening up strange things and strange screws. To that I say, fucking mind your business. All right? How about that? How about you mind your business? I asked Sarah and I think I asked Adam this week, but I'll ask you guys while we're all here because there seems to be like 10 or 11 of us. When I say good Chinese restaurant, what comes to mind as what is inside of the place? What pops into your head? Fish tanks. Oh, that's one I didn't think of. Child labor. Yep, there's always like a little child there. Fucking working on their homework in between frying food. Which I get, you know. Kids are free. Giant jade plant. Yep. Paper la. Nothing made after 1999 except for the food. Yo, that's fair. I know a lot of ours around here have old vending machines, like the 75-cent quarter machines with stickers. Dragons, Buddha waving cats, okay. The lucky cats, yep. Paper lanterns and green foo dogs. Okay. Pantsless tones. Yeah, that's why you keep getting asked to leave. If you showed up just one time with pants on, be less of a problem. Yeah, I would say yes to the child labor, yes to the things not being made after the 90s. The faded sign, always, if the pictures on the menu board are faded and like one of the letters on the neon is like trying to quit or maybe it's out, the food is fucking banging every time. It's like one of those universal truths that like this food is going to taste really good because of these things here. Sun faded menus, yep. Or the neon, like the light bulb has burned them, like so that they're faded and almost like super transparent. And I have this screen for it. I don't know if I showed off the screen. Yeah, I was painting it when I started the thing, priming it. But this is going to be set like this almost, tilted. And it's going to have some advertisements on it, but they're going to be like really faded advertisements. Actually, I can go ahead and give that another coating of black paint before we Mod Podge it. Cool bonsai tree. So you weren't here. You weren't here last week when I was struggling on a Sunday stream. And I tried painting this fucking tree and I was like, oh, this is going to be dope. And paint this Asian inspired tree with these white fucking flowers and the petals will be falling and it'll be like that scene in The Last Samurai. And here's the thing. What I wound up painting was a tree from the fucking Lorax. I don't know how I did it. I know I can paint the other thing. I didn't know I could paint a Lorax tree. But boy, did that not turn out great. So during a slow, one of the very rare slow work days, I started painting these weird flowers on here, but there's going to be so much like advertisement and things on the side. I thought it's just like a nice background for whatever I'm going to put there instead of the tree. But dear Lord, was that a rough, like, there's not many times, especially since I've stopped doing cosplay for the most part, where I've set down my work and just thought to myself, I have no business being an artist. And man, when I started painting that tree and it started looking like something that the Lorax was going to come out and lecture me about, and I could see it, and I was like, oh, I'll just fix it. And I kept working on it, and it just kept getting worse and worse. Sometimes I'd lean into that, but this was not one of those sometimes. This was like I am failing the mission. I'm throwing good time away from, good time after bad results here. I need to stop. And so I think I called the stream at that point and just, I didn't touch it for like a day because I just couldn't believe how badly I moved that up, which is not, you know what I mean? Like if I were intentionally doing that or I could just roll with it, that would have been fine. But man, did that tree, that fucked me up. And it's not often because, there were times when I was cosplaying where I'd be working on something and it just wouldn't go right. And I'd continue like trying to fix it and just make it worse to the point of like complete and total failure on it and have to start all over again. And I'd just sit there and be like, man, I don't deserve to call myself an artist. I have no business in any industry like this. I should just stick to going to work in a factory or whatever. Or just like I gave myself a little time, had a little bit of grace with myself and just came back to it. But man, that fucking tree. Trafula trees. Kelly Mack. Who's Kelly Mack? Like from Fleetwood Mac? Also, I have various types of wire that I could do that bonsai tree. I have copper craft wire and bronze craft wire. I could make a little jade tree, maybe sometime down the road. played Addie in The Walking Dead. Addie. What season? Because I fell off, not intentionally either. I fell off when Negan, the first season after Negan, when, spoiler alert for a show that's fucking going on season 232, when, everybody plug your ears if you don't want to hear it, Carl dies. That's when I dripped off because I didn't have cable at that point, so I was like watching the replay online every Sunday when it went up, and it just became too tough to watch at night because of work the next morning. But yeah, Addie. Why can't I, like, I'm certain I'll remember them when I see a picture, but it's not coming to me right this moment. I sincerely enjoy the show. I like the spin-offs too. I caught a few episodes of Daryl Dixon. I thought that one was really fun and really like, hey, this is a cool zombie, this is a cool way to take the franchise. This is a cool thing to look at. And I also like the New York City one with Negan and Maggie and her kid. And, I just can't, I haven't been able to go back through and rewatch it all. And I'd like to watch it all from the beginning again because I really loved seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 a lot. But TV shows change and so do tastes. So I totally get that. Ah! Hey, does anybody want a bone? Man, I thought that was fabulous the way they did that. Oh, God, it was so good. I cosplayed as Negan for 3 conventions, but then there were a lot more Negan cosplayers, and they became as annoying as Deadpool cosplayers, and I was like, yeah, I'm all done with this. But I've still got my, my Lucille prop out in the garage, and it's still got a fake scalp hanging off of it and a tooth. A fake tooth dangling. Yeah. That is a great prop. Just an iconic item from any TV show there. That's one of them where it's just like, what the fuck that is when you see it. Okay, I'm gonna make a... Alright, let's get this little guy here. We'll set this back out of the way. Okay. So I need to make some chopsticks or assorted metallic sticky looking tools. So we'll cut this. Ah. And then we will, see, we won't waste the hose material here. We'll save this. But now it's flaccid, and if you give it a pill, it gets rigid again. But yeah, so I'm thinking some, right now I'm just cutting up these little pieces of wire. Ouch, that one just stabbed me. Because they're going to be chopsticks, I think. Trim a couple of toothpicks down, the same material variation. in the stick pot. So I'm gonna paint some of these chopsticks a different color than the silver, but I'm not gonna do wood, because again, in Gimmick, wood is a rarity. It's a sign of wealth and opulence, which is why I made this spoon with a wooden handle that I still have to paint to look like wood, but it's like to show off, like, yeah, I've got a little bit of money, I'm doing well for myself, but I want the chopsticks to, you know, well, these chopsticks are, you know, white because they're white metal or plastic or something, but there's going to be some metal chopsticks in there too, just for, oh no, where'd they go? Oh dear, shit's flying everywhere. Well, Famine, maybe you should have thought about that before you started painting directly on the table. Well, you know, self, probably should have. But I didn't. And now we all have to deal with the consequences. But the consequence for that will be I will be in here with a bare foot or without my Crocs on or shoes on, and I'll step on that and then I'll cry. Now I should... You guys are smart. I like you. Good job, chat. I was sitting here and I was like, man, what could I put in there to stick these into? Y'all were like, hey, Famine, you have approximately 8,000 rivets that are probably the size of that little hole in there. What if you put that in there with like a little bit of super glue? And I was like, say less, guys. Perfect fit. Perfectly saturating that super glue into it. Boom. Now we can just jab some of these toothpicks, chopsticks in there. And then when it cures, I can trim them flush, make them look neat. It's all good. I could probably put another ladle in there too as well. I can make a metal ladle. Maybe a bigger one or a smaller one. Who the fuck knows? Okay. Yeah, let's do another ladle, guys. You guys are so smart. Oh my god, the best chat ever. But yes, wood being such a rarity. And also, I'm going to use a couple of these big half spherical beads to make dishes, make some bowls. Okay, that's a smaller ladle handle. That's perfect. You guys are so smart. Okay. So where did the... There it is. All right. All right, duh. You know, Famine, what's that, Self? If you had drilled a hole in there first and then sank that in like you did with the other one, you'd save yourself a little bit of time. Well, you know me. Trying to get away by doing as little as I can, while simultaneously doing too much. This summer, one man tries to drill into a semi-spherical bead without drilling into his hand. Without stabbing into his hand. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna hold that there. Weird. Come on, Lenore. Cool. I got it to stick. Only for it to stick to my hand. We'll let that cure for a minute. Clean up a little bit. Honestly, for some of these streams, I don't know how you guys tune in, but I appreciate it. I do. You okay, Bjorn? Did you get attacked by an evil space monkey? People tune into a famine stream like, what the fuck is this guy up to now? Yeah. Nice. Honestly, I didn't know if this was going to work, but it looks like it just might. Boom. I got a bowl. I'm going to sand that a little more. That bottom a little more. Just so that it's as flat as I want it. Flip it over. Smooth it out. And then yeah, hell yeah. All right, guys. You're all so smart. Boom. We get a little bowl. We get a little... And I can sculpt noodles and whatnot on there coming out of it. Let's see. Boop. Cool. Scuff that up on the sides just to help the paint adhere when I paint these later. Take down that shiny silver. That's cool. Great, we got a little bowl, guys. We got bowls. Cool. It's not just Famine who thinks you're smart, Bjorn. A lot of people think you're smart. Ah. Cool, so we got that full of those. So let's... Got this other spoon here, other fladle. Yeah. And there's the clip. I broke it off. Son of a bitch. That's on me. I kind of thought that was going to happen.
It's okay. We can fix it. We can fix anything.
Except for my eyeball. Right in my eye. Ah, you bitch. I am not sure why this one just doesn't want to adhere like the other one did, or like it did previously. It's got to be something I'm doing, which is no surprise. Because, like, half the time I do anything, truly making it up as I go along. Okay. it's gonna cure in the thing. There we go. We have another ladle. Taco time. Oh shit. No. I like tacos, I like time. Now watch, Tone's gonna rock up to WMC on Friday. Taco in hand. Sounds delightful. Always a taco in your hand, yep. Keep your hand out of your pants, buddy. See what I did there? See what I did, Tone? Is you were going one way and I went the other way. And my way was funnier. Damn, bitch. Okay, so we got another bowl. I'm just sanding those bottoms of these beads flat. So that's gonna be those. That's gonna be good. Yeah. Yeah. I think only one's gonna have that little foam thing in it. I don't think the other ones need it. Just gives a little differential. And I have other bowls too. Like I have this wooden polished bowl that could be like used for holding produce, and I have a little plate. You know, could probably go under one of these. Look at that. Oh, it's like a little serving thing. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Very nice. Okay. Your hands are busy because you got a taco in your hand, huh? Okay, so that's looking good. I'm trying to think. Not sure yet. You're probably like, Famine, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, trust me, I know. I think that's too big to go in there. Oh, well, it does fit nicely on top of there. Oh. Save that for something else. All right. Cats, kittens, I'm going to hop off of here. I'm going to go clean the super glue off my paws, I think, and probably give this lady just all the kisses and probably another TREAT, because she deserves it. So thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, you like this type of stuff, live artwork, live chats, subscribe. You can check out the Patreon. There's a link in the description below. There's a free tier, check that out. If you want to help out the channel, if you're not in a position to, I totally get it, but liking and checking these things out is support and helps. We have some channel members here. I appreciate you guys that are already here. If you want to become a member of the channel and contribute that way, you can as well. ko-fi.com. You can buy me a coffee. But I mean, other ways, guys. Like otherwise. There we go. Those are the words I wanted to use. To sweet me. Be good.